Hey guys, what is going on? This is THS here, and we are going to continue our tutorial series. This episode shouldn't take as long as last time. We don't have as much to go through as we did then. Um, so I do remember I had someone ask me a question on I think it was my first episode where I looked through the players about um, a player that was 20 or was an 80 overall in my international complex and wasn't in his. And I actually went in here and checked. It was who was it? Angel Baptista, and he was actually when I changed scouts, he went to a 20 overall from an 80 overall. So I went ahead. I requested that my scout rescout him. So we'll get that alert tomorrow. Uh, Keep in mind that these ratings are going to change based on how the scout evaluates it. I don't know if these ratings are going to change between patches. So let's go ahead and finish today. And we have a personal message. So he does say he's a 20 overall. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one. So it doesn't look like he is as much thinks as much of Angel Baptista as our prior scout did. But I think in general, we're gonna be better off with Harrison. So this right here is one of the things I've been looking for. It's an international scout or an international discovery. So basically, what happened is uh, our scouting team had someone overseas in Latin America usually, and they found this player right here. So he has been added to our international complex. We don't have to pay him like a bonus or anything, or at least it doesn't come out of our bonus pool. So you can see he doesn't really have a lot of potential, but he's let's see, it doesn't say how old he is. So he looks like he's 17, he's almost 18, so he'll be in there for another year or two, and then we'll bring him over when we have to. So um, I don't know if we're gonna have too many things to deal with in the next. Let's go back to the waiver wire in this month. We shouldn't have as much to deal with as we did in um, April because we went over the waiver wire, went over the injury list. Of course, Panda's on this list. Like I said, if you have nothing better to do, you can just go day by day. You don't even have to go day by day. But okay, so this is something that we really need to figure out. So Tim Lincecum has completed his rehab assignment. He has to be either added to the 40-man roster or designated for assignment. Where did he go? There he is. So he did bring his ERA down a lot. Dang it. I don't know if there's anyone in here I necessarily wanted to demote. Um, does Tony Burnett have options? That's the wrong one. Contract. The options, 3 option years left. Yeah, we're gonna option him to AAA. There we go. Transaction. Go to AAA Round Rock. And because he turned it around, we're gonna go ahead and add Lincecum to this major league roster. So his stats looked a lot better at the end of the rehab assignment. So I'll give him a shot. Alvasal Garcia hit for the cycle. So and you'll get these kind of storylines. Sometimes it's kind of interesting to see who does those kind of things in out of the park baseball. It mostly just builds the world. So I kind of like it in challenge mode where you can't where you can't sim as fast. You can kind of see more things like the no hitters, the cycles that get thrown or hit by random players who you wouldn't think would be able to do that. So holy, that's an ERA. Can't tell if that's an ERA or a time. Okay, that was not my best joke. Jepson ready to come off. Definitely go on a rehab assignment. So we only have Palumbo on the DL right now. So we're just gonna straight demote him to uh, double A or triple A once once he's healthy, because he doesn't need a rehab assignment. He's not ready for the major league level at all. So Danny Farquhar, man, really feel for that guy. I'm really sad the White Sox didn't bring him back and he had to sign a contract with someone else. Oh, what am I doing? That's not how I want to do. I want to do this. For those of you who don't know what happened with Danny Farquhar, this season, in the middle of a game, he went into the dugout and collapsed all of a sudden. He ended up with a brain aneurysm, and if the training staff hadn't where are we here hadn't gotten uh oh nice Joey Gallo hit 3 home runs, nice. uh anyway, if the training staff hadn't been able to get him treated as quickly and get him to the hospital as quickly as they did, um he probably would have died, almost certainly would have died. So he was obviously ruled out for the rest of the season. He's been cleared to pitch again, but he did not get his contract renewed by the White Sox, which is really sad. But he did get picked up, I think, by the Yankees. Okay, there we go. That's what got brought over to this page. Ricardo Jose Rodriguez. Let's see. Okay, so he wasn't very good last year. And then, so let's see, we demoted him, and now let's find him again. Where did he go? Oh, he's gonna be on this one. I was looking at the wrong one. Let's see. Are they gonna let me? Oh, come on. Let's be placed in the active roster designated for assignment. What the heck? Oh my goodness. I have this is stupid. Okay. I'm gonna promote him. How's Tim doing? He's only pitched 1 game so far. So really at this point we're just trying to get to the draft. As you can see, this episode's going a lot faster. There's not as much to talk about in this one. Basically, the only reason I'm playing this out is just in case something big were to happen. Not that one. I want to clear up my mail. If something big were to happen, like a big injury or a trade, I haven't received any trade offers yet. That's really odd. Um, there. Speak of the devil, and they shall appear. So this is a trade proposal that the Indians are sending us. We're gonna take a look at this. So I'm telling you right now, I am not gonna accept this because this is probably two of my best prospects, and they want to send me Yonder Alonso, who's an okay player, but not worth even Willie Calhoun. So, um, most of these you're gonna get are gonna be like this, where you're just not like it's a non-starter. Um, so I should take a look through here really quickly, see if there's anyone who's not doing very well. So he's not doing very well. Um, no, that's not what I want to look at. This is where I want to look. So is Willie still ready to come up? Willie is totally still ready to come up. Come on. Nope. Willie's ready to come up. Now when we do something like this, we are going to have to go into his game strategy because we don't want to force start him at the major league level. So we're just gonna adjust his strategy there. So he doesn't get force started there. So, and yeah, that Hector Rondon pickup appears to be paying off pretty well. Doing pretty well over there. Looks like Ricardo's doing okay in his first 3 games. So Lincecum's still doing okay. He's allowed what, like, oh, 5 runs. Okay, that's not very good. It's still too early to panic. He's only pitched 3.2 or 2.2 innings, so I still don't want to panic on that. But he pitches like 3 more games. That ERA is going to come down really quickly. So we are actually calling up Willie Calhoun. So I do want to talk about that a little bit. I touched on it at the end of the last episode. He's more than ready to come up. That's why I kind of didn't go into his stats, but I probably should. That OPS right there at AAA is like MVP level. That slugging percentage is definitely MVP level. He is more than ready to play at the major leagues. His sample size is a little small, but he's got almost 200 plate appearances. Plus, the year before, he was just absolutely crushing it at AAA in 2017. Looking at his rate stats, just so we can see that again, because I did it based off of that, but I already looked at this kind of stuff. WOBA 431 is incredible. ISO of 287, his power's there. His BABIP 352, his contact is there. His strikeouts are down to 11.1%. That's incredibly good. His walks are low, but if I remember correctly, his walks are always going to be low. Um, his walks are a little low. He's got a 50 in I. His walks are a little bit lower than what I'd like to see, but he'll be fine. He's got the high work ethic, so he could probably be a pretty good asset for years to come. So the only thing is, I don't know exactly how he's going to find playing time on this roster, which makes me a little hesitant to call him up. But we'll make sure that he gets some playing time somewhere, somehow. We'll make sure he gets playing time, even if we have to force him into DH or something like that, because he is not going to. If we just leave him at AAA, he's not going to get any better. So the other thing we can do is we don't really want to trade off Gallo or Odor, but we could. Well, no, we're winning. We can't trade off Beltre right now. Could try to get rid of Shinsu Chu and open up a DH spot for him, or transition him over to like first base or something like that. But um, yeah, we'll definitely and look at that. He's already in their DH and they benched Shinsu Chu already for him. So uh, I don't even need to worry about that. Okay, All Star Game voting. I don't usually do the All Star Game voting because to me, why would I vote for anyone other than my players? Like, I know I should vote for other players, but it's just so tedious, and the computer usually does a pretty good job at electing all stars anyway. Um, Tim Lincecum. So you are going to get these two. Tim Lincecum wants an extension. I'm not going to extend a guy with an ERA in the 12s. Yes, that is one game, one inning he has worked since, and his ERA is already down 4. So, we're going to give him a little bit more time. I don't see any reason why I would extend him. Okay, Martin Perez. See which one's Martin Perez. Is he the starting pitcher? Yeah, he's the starter. So we can't really get rid of any of these. Oh man, I might have to DFA Bartolo. Oh man, I really hate to do it, but that's all I want on his contract. Um, yeah, it's a 1-year deal. Um, Claudio's doing well. He's doing all right. Yeah. Well, oh man, this is so hard decision to make because I've got 2 players that I think would make really good waves, like getting them off the roster completely. Why is Matt Bush's information not popping up? Why is Matt Bush black? I'm pretty sure he's white in real life. We've got a situation here where there's 2 players that would be really good candidates for. That's what I'm looking for. Doing okay. His walks are high, but um, so both Bartolo Colon with an ERA in the 6s and Tim Lincecum with his ERA in the 12s, and I don't see him getting much better. I don't really see any upside, would make pretty good candidates to waive and to release. Um, I just don't see a route where I'm moving someone else around, but I really don't want to release them unless I have to. So I am gonna play that. Unfortunately, he is gonna. I should get back to the waiver wire. Unfortunately, you do sometimes have to give players the treatment where they're just riding the bus back and forth between AAA and the majors. That's just the reality of the game. Um, this is the guy I wanted to demote. Yeah, I'm just gonna straight up. I think I talked about putting him at AAA because his numbers here are so good, but most of his numbers actually came at A ball and not at advanced A ball. So I am just gonna demote to double A. And then let's see, minor leagues. Okay, yeah, he is on that list of players to track. And I need to add him to that list. I do want to see how he's doing. He should. Why is he at double A? I thought I demoted him to triple A. Oh well. So yeah, it looks like we're pretty close to the end of the month here. So this is gonna be a lot shorter episode. Matt Moore, still unsure when he's gonna recover. Man, hmm. He's not really struggling, so I don't really see the purpose in putting him on the DL. Take a look at how our pitching staff's doing. So Cole Hamels 4.6 ERA. It's a little high, but we're paying him a lot of money when we started. Minor 3.58 ERA. Pretty good, pretty good. He's got a lot of losses, but that doesn't look to be on him. He's not giving up that many runs. Martin Perez looks like they pulled one of the other starters for Perez. Yeah, they put Bartolo in the bullpen. Maybe he can turn it around in the bullpen. So he hasn't made an appearance yet. Matt Moore 4.46. Yeah, it looks like we're losing on the pitching rather than the offense. And we're actually doing well. Damn it! I didn't want to have to buy I didn't want to have to buy at the deadline, but looks like our team's doing pretty well. Yeah, we're doing. Yeah, Willie Calhoun is starting off really really well. In the majors, he's lighting it up here. So Odor's having a really good season. Beltre's having a pretty solid season for this point in his career. Andrus is kind of having a renaissance season. Gallows hitting like a storm. Uh, Yerkson Profar, I can't believe we can't find a spot for him. Maybe we can dangle him as trade bait. Um, Dwayne Shields doing all right. Nothing great. And Mazzara is just absolutely hitting up a storm. So maybe we're not actually rebuilding this team. Maybe we're just taking this team to a World Series this year. If we're gonna have to do that, we're gonna have to shore up the pitching. Um, I don't think we have any pitching that's really ready to come up to help do that, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Um, so we'll go ahead and finish out the month here. I'll just trust my manager not to play him. Moderate effect, he shouldn't play for 3 days. I'll just trust my man. I don't want to put him on the DL for that. Um, so as you can see, trades are starting to go on. Usually trades don't happen this early in the made like trades like this where you're trading like competent players. Um, yeah, they traded Chris Davis. Wow, they traded Chris Davis in May. That usually doesn't happen, but you do see like minor trades uh in May. Actually, I think the Mariners and Rays did a pretty big trade like before the draft this year. That usually doesn't happen, but that is probably gonna happen a lot more. Okay, so the draft pool is revealed. So I'm gonna do an entire episode on the draft because that takes a lot of time to go through, and I really want to script a lot of the beginning portion of that to kind of tell you how I go through things. But these are the top 10 players, not in any order. Um, I think these are all OSA's scouts. Yeah, so it says in no particular order. So you can go in here, reports and info, draft pool, and you can just start looking at this. Now, the thing about the draft in this game, there is no there's no timer like there is in Madden. So I don't need to set up a board. I can do all my research it at the time of the draft. I don't necessarily want to do a bunch of research before the draft and then not have a player because you can't trade picks. So I can't trade up to get someone I want to take. So that's why I reveal the draft pool so late. So because I don't really care because I'm gonna do all my research there. We'll get into things like demand and slot and all that kind of stuff on insignability in the draft episode. But I do want to check to see where our bonus pool is. I am not seeing our bonus pool. Oh, there are some free agents available in here that meet our. I haven't been checking up on this. Definitely gonna offer him a minor league contract. Gonna offer him a minor league contract. Does he have speed? Not that much speed, not that much offensive upside. Does have high intelligence. I'll go ahead and offer him a minor league contract. Um, Nah, he's got a pretty bad personality there. Um, nah, his offensive profile doesn't pan out very well. Um, he's a little better offensive output with the high contact, high high avoid Ks, decent speed. Yeah, if he can outperform that projection, he wouldn't be terrible. So, I'll go ahead and offer that guy a contract. Not him. Probably not him either. No. So I haven't been checking that. I probably should have been. The waiver wire, Alfaro should still have a bit of upside, but um, he's not doing well this year. And I'm gonna guess he doesn't have options left. Yeah, he's out of option years, so I can't stick him somewhere. If I could stick him at AAA, I'd go ahead and take him because I think he's got the ability to get better, but I don't want to play him on the major league level right now when I'm in a position where I need to try to win because I do need to upgrade at catcher. My catching is horrible this year. It's probably my biggest area of need outside of pitching, and that's specifically starting pitching. I've got pretty decent um, relief pitching. Like if you go and look at the pitching staff, relief options outside of Tim Lincecum are doing okay. I don't know why I'm sticking with him as long as I am. Maybe it's because I want Tim Lincecum to be good. This is why I didn't do a Royals rebuild. I would stick with the players way too long. Um, but here we are, and we are getting a player development update. Looks like we signed all four of those guys. So this is where your scout goes in and publishes a report of changes for how he feels players have updated throughout the season. So as you can see, a lot of these players are getting worse up here. Um, Looks like Mazzara, his potential contact and power ratings actually improved, but his potential overall decreased. That happens. Overall is not a great way to judge a player. That's why I tried to turn it off, but I can't figure out how to fully turn it off. So what I'm really looking at is the tools. And really, I care about the stuff down here where, like, I'm looking for names that I recognize. So, like, Pablo Martinez, his defensive ability improved, though his overall dropped. I don't know why, but his defensive rating at center field went from 50 to 60. That's really good because I may need a center fielder. I'm not a huge believer in Delino de Shields. Um, so his speed dropped and his defensive rating dropped. So not as excited about that, but I usually look through these. Don't do too much with them, but they're really nice to see. Kind of get an update on how you're. I want to see. Oh, I was hoping Willie Calhoun would get that because he came out just screaming. And yeah, he's still hitting. He only had 10 games. If he had more games, he probably would have won it because he's got an OPS of 1.201. Holy cow! He's already. My goodness, he's tearing it up. Uh, oh man, I knew he was gonna be good. I didn't think he'd be this good. And it is a really small sample size. He could absolutely fall apart the rest of the season. So, Jesse Chavez, moderate effect, recovery expected to take 3 to 4 weeks. Um, I am gonna put him on the disabled list because I don't want a pitcher that has a moderate effect in my bullpen, especially when I have options at the AAA level that I can call up instead. I've got Barnett down there. I've got he's actually got 6 days left on his rehab assignment, so I'm actually just gonna bring him off his rehab assignment. And there we go. That's solved. So I do sometimes use like I use the rehab assignment as a way to kind of push the decision off because you do run into a situation like I ran into right there where you have 6 days left. He was throwing pretty well at AAA. Oh, well, I need to call someone up from AAA. This is a great opening on the roster spot. And I don't have to waive anyone for any designate or waive anyone for assignment. So here we are at the draft. So this is where we are going to end the episode. This is a little bit shorter, which is what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for the episodes not to be longer than about 30 to 40 minutes. This is a little bit on the short end because this is really a month that doesn't have a lot of action. Uh, and I kind of wanted to see if I could get to the draft in one episode, and I couldn't because I went on for so long in the last episode. So, next episode, we're going to do the draft. Like I was saying earlier, it's going to be a little bit more scripted, especially at the beginning. It's going to be a lot more edited to hopefully be more coherent. So I can go over draft strategies, how you wanna look at players, what kind of things you want to look for. Um, a lot of it, honestly, comes down to what you value, and I'm going to go over what I value and also what plays well with the Rangers, what's going to play well in Rangers Park because you have to take that into consideration too. So I hope to have the next episode up in about a week. I'm going to take a little bit longer than I have been for these. I'm going to do a lot more preparing on this one. And then once that's all prepared, I will go ahead and record that, edit that. Hopefully, I have this up by next weekend. I do also want to say that baseball spring training begins this week. I am so excited. So we're almost back. They did announce Out of the Park 20 will be coming out on the 22nd of March. That's a little more than a month from now. So looking forward to that too. Gonna try to get some Out of the Park 20 as soon as I know more information about that. I'll definitely go over some teams I think would be good rebuilds in that as we get closer. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.